Do you find that budgeting is something that is really difficult and you really struggle to either get started or stick to it, or maybe both? Well, stick around watching this video because I will show you how to get your money organized in 2021 and beyond, and how to get started right now. Hello beautiful community, this is Emmy from Simple Essentials, and I'm so excited to have you here in this channel. As you might know, we talk all about simple living, minimalism, organization, budget, health, well-being, all sorts of things related to simplifying your life. It doesn't have to be too hard, eh? So in today's video, we are going to talk about money. One of my favorite topics, used to be one of my least favorite topics. And budgeting is one of those things that a lot of people have a love-hate relationship to. We know that we kind of have to do it, or that we should be doing it, but many people don't either have the right tools or know where to start. And when you go to Google on the internet, there's so many different types of resources that finding the one that works for you and your family or your circumstance can be really tricky. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to get started with budgeting in 2021 and beyond. I do have another video, which I'll link up here somewhere, which is all about getting started with budgeting. Now, it's a little bit of a longer video and it shows you exactly the full spreadsheet that I use to get started and to set my zero-sum budget. So if you're interested in like the bigger picture, the macro picture of how to set a budget, definitely check that video out. I will also link that in the description box below. But after my last video, I did get some questions from you guys about, well, how do I track this on a regular basis? And I thought, what a great way to start 2021 is to track all your expenses for the next 2 months. So if you're watching this video in January 2021, you can start from the 1st of Jan if you like, or you can start from today and 2 months onwards. The reason we're doing more than 1 month is that some bills and some costs tend to kind of fall, you know, fortnightly, monthly, bi-monthly, and sometimes even quarterly. So I actually track my budget every single month. And it's a habit that I would strongly encourage you to get started with. But for now, let's put all that aside and start with 2 months. You can totally do this. So I'm gonna hop over now and show you the downloadable template. You don't even have to do a template. You can literally just hop over to the link in the description box below and join my community, which will give you free access to the template that I'm about to show you. Here is the very basic template that I've set up for you if you want to use this one. You can obviously make your own as well. This one is just made in an Excel spreadsheet, and like I said, you can download it in the description box below if you want to use this. All the numbers you see on the screen are just sample numbers, so this is not my specific budget, but it's just to get you started to looking at your categories. So across the top here, you'll see some categories that I normally track myself. Obviously, in your circumstances, you can change these as much as you want, and you can even add additional columns if you want to break things down further. But for example, what I would do every couple of days, or ideally every day, is that I would sit down and look at what I might have spent money on that day. If I spent $3 on coffee, yes, I still track small amounts like $3, because the idea of knowing what you spend is adding up all those little costs as well as the big costs. So I would normally sit down and put the numbers in every single day. And obviously some things like your car insurance, for example, you may not pay that every single month, but there are other costs that would tend to come out every single month. So for example, your internet might typically come out on the 7th of every month, and depending what country you're in, it might be cheap or not cheap, but let's say $45 for this example. So the good thing about doing this is that I've designed this spreadsheet very simply to tally up here at the bottom. So you can see per category, especially interesting category for most of us are these ones here, which is your other, your groceries, and your eating out or social activities. So these three is usually where we can actually save a fair bit of money just by being aware how much we've been spending. Obviously, if you wanted to do this, this is an example for the month of January. If you want to, when you download the template, you can download it and clone this tab and create a new one for February, and it's obviously going to be fewer days there. You can also see here at the bottom that there's a budget template tab, and that's referring to the zero-sum budgeting template that I talk about in the other video, which is also linked in the description box below. But there you have it. It is not very difficult, and I tell you, if you get into this habit and start doing this, you're going to save yourself so much money just by knowing where your money goes. There'll be heaps of things that you can clone month to month, like if you have a fixed phone bill or a fixed internet bill or a fixed rent bill. Those sort of things can be really easy. Your variables will probably be more over here in your transport, gifts, going to the cinema, anything else like that that doesn't have a category. But that's essentially it. And at the end of the month, you look at your grand total and you can then compare back by category back to your the budget template that I talk about in the other video and go, well, I had targeted to spend $100 per week on groceries, so no more than $400 for the month. Where did I land at the end of the month? So that is the very, very simple way to get started with budgeting, is to track what you're spending. And if you're a cash person, you might find that this is a little bit more difficult. In that case, I would say either have a little notebook or something with you so you can update this as you go, or keep the receipts and then sit down either daily or every few days to look over it. The biggest thing I would say is don't push it off. Try and do it every single day, because if you do it every single day, it will take 2 minutes. If you save all of it to the end of the month, it's going to become that huge task that you just don't want to deal with. So what I typically do is I sit down every couple of days, definitely every week, and I just go through, my partner and I, most of the things that we spend money on is in our joint account. So I normally just go into the online banking, look at the different line items that we've spent money on. I did mention this in a previous video. There are apps that can help you do this, but I actually personally think, and I've seen this work really well for other people, is doing the act of interacting with your money rather than getting someone else to organize it for you. Even if that's an app on your phone, it actually helps to just see, oh my goodness, I spent $100 on groceries. Oh, that thing that I went and did with my friend, which was just like a fun day out, cost me $150. My goodness. And then you start to tally that up. So there's true power in actually interacting physically with your money, whether you use your computer or a notebook or something like that to track your expenses. So there you go. I hope that you find this useful. Like I said before, you can download this template in the description box below. There is a link for you. If you join my newsletter community, you will get an instant notification email, which has the link and all the things in it where you can get started using this template. So thanks so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe this video. It really helps me out, and I'd love to see you in the next video.